In the noisy streets of Manila, where jeepneys rattle past and vendors call out to customers, a 14-year-old boy named Ryan stands on a cracked sidewalk holding an old guitar with peeling paint. It isn't much, but it is his treasure, a gift from a neighbor who believed in his voice long before anyone else did. Each afternoon, after school and sometimes instead of school, he takes his spot near an overpass where the sound echoes just enough to make him feel like he's singing on a real stage. His mother sits a few feet away behind a small fruit stand, wiping sweat from her forehead as she stacks mangoes, bananas, and guavas, glancing at her son every few minutes with quiet pride. Ryan doesn't sing for fun. He sings because the few coins strangers drop in his small metal cup help his mother buy rice, electricity tokens, and sometimes even his school supplies. Yet when he sings, the world around him seems to disappear. His voice is warm and rich, the kind of voice that makes people turn their heads even when they're in a hurry. Tourists often stop, pull out their phones, smile, and record a few seconds before moving on. But one afternoon, as the sky glows orange and Manila's heat begins to fade, an American tourist named Daniel stops in front of Ryan and actually listens, really listens. The boy is singing, "When I Was Your Man," his eyes closed, his voice trembling with emotion far older than his age. Daniel feels something hit him deeply. He records the entire song, captivated by how a boy in slippers, dusty shorts, and a faded t-shirt can sound like someone who belongs on the biggest stages in the world. When the song ends, he drops a generous bill in the cup and tells Ryan, "You have a gift. Don't ever stop." The boy blushes, not used to praise from strangers. That night, after returning to his hotel, Daniel uploads the video to social media with the caption, "This street kid from the Philippines sings better than most artists on the radio." Within hours, the video spreads faster than he expected. Comments flood in from the USA, Canada, Europe, and even celebrities. People are blown away by Ryan's tone, his raw emotion, his story, even though they only know the small piece Daniel shared. By morning, the video hits 1 million views. By evening, it's on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, spreading across every platform like wildfire. Ryan doesn't know any of this yet. He wakes up early, prepares for another day of singing, and helps his mother push the fruit cart to their usual spot. But when they arrive, people are waiting. Strangers approach him with smiles and phones, asking him to sing the same song they saw online. Confused, he asks, "How did you see me?" And they say, "Kid, you're viral." His mother's eyes widen, her hands trembling. People offer to buy their fruits, take pictures, give encouragement. Ryan sits down, clutches his guitar, and sings again. This time, the crowd claps, cheers, and films every moment. For the first time in his life, he feels seen. For the first time, he dares to believe that maybe, just maybe, his voice could take him somewhere far beyond the streets. He just doesn't know how far yet. A week after the video goes viral, while Ryan and his mother are preparing fruits under the morning sun, an unfamiliar number calls her phone. She almost ignores it, thinking it's a scam, but something tells her to answer. The voice on the other end introduces themselves as a representative from America's Got Talent. At first she thinks it's a prank. Why would a huge American TV show call a street vendor in Manila? But then the representative explains they saw the viral video, the judges loved it, and they want to officially invite Ryan to audition for the show. Ryan freezes, holding a bunch of bananas in his hand, staring at his mother, trying to understand the words. When she finally tells him, he almost drops the bananas. He shakes his head in disbelief, repeating, "Me. AGT. Really?" The representative emails documents, instructions, and an official invitation. A small crowd gathers around them, reading over their shoulders. Cheers erupt. Vendors clap, customers congratulate them, some cry. This isn't just big news for him, this is hope for the whole community. But reality sinks in fast. They don't have passports. They don't have visas. They barely have enough money for daily needs, let alone flights to America. When Ryan's mother quietly says, "We can't afford this," he feels his heart shatter. But word spreads quickly through the neighborhood. Within 2 days, a community fundraiser forms. Vendors donate small bills, tricycle drivers give coins, teachers offer help with paperwork, and strangers online send donations. A local government official hears about the viral sensation and fast-tracks their passport process. Everything feels unreal. For the first time, Ryan steps inside an airport. He looks out the huge glass windows, seeing planes take off like giant birds, and wonders if he's dreaming. During the flight, he stays awake the entire time, staring at the clouds. When they land in Los Angeles, everything feels like a different planet: the clean streets, tall buildings, wide roads, silent cars. His mother holds tightly onto his arm, both nervous and excited. The next morning, they arrive at the huge AGT auditorium. The building is so massive Ryan feels like an ant walking into a giant world. Contestants rush past, staff walk with headsets, and lights shine everywhere. He is overwhelmed before even stepping on stage. He checks in, gets a contestant number, and waits in a long backstage hallway surrounded by dancers, magicians, choirs, comedians, and singers. Everyone looks older, taller, more confident. Ryan clutches his guitar like it's the only thing keeping him from falling apart. When a staff member finally calls his name, his heart pounds so loud he thinks everyone can hear it. As he walks onto the stage, the cheering audience blinds him. He feels the warmth of the lights, the size of the crowd, the intimidating presence of the judges: Simon Cowell, Heidi Klum, Howie Mandel, Sofia Vergara, staring at him with curiosity. Simon leans forward, studying him. "What's your name?" Ryan answers softly. "I'm Ryan. I'm from the Philippines." Simon asks, "Why are you here?" And Ryan takes a shaky breath, looks at the audience, then back at the judges, and says, "I sing on the streets to help my mom. I never thought I'd be here. But I'm ready." His hands tremble as he lifts the microphone. The world becomes silent. The boy from the streets is about to sing for the world. Ryan stands on the AGT stage with his feet trembling inside his worn sneakers, gripping the microphone like it is the only thing giving him courage. The audience is silent, waiting. Simon watches him closely, eyebrows slightly raised, as if trying to figure out what this tiny boy with a shy smile is capable of. When the music for "You Raise Me Up" begins, a soft piano fills the air. Ryan closes his eyes, inhales deeply, and everything else disappears: the bright lights, the thousands of people, the judge's intimidating gaze. All he hears is the slow climb of the melody. When he opens his mouth for the first note, a warm, strong, almost angelic sound pours out of him. The room reacts instantly. Heads lift. People lean forward. Even in the back rows, audience members whisper, stunned. No one expects such a powerful voice from a small kid who looks like he should still be in middle school. He moves through the verses with a vulnerability that makes every word feel real. His voice cracks only once, but it's not a mistake. It's emotion, and it hits the crowd like a wave. Halfway through the song, he shifts his weight, opens his eyes, and looks straight at his mom standing backstage. She is already crying, one hand over her mouth, unable to believe what she's witnessing. Her son, the boy who once sang on a sidewalk with traffic drowning out his voice, is now commanding a world-famous stage. The music swells as the chorus rises, and Ryan gives everything he has. His high notes are clean, powerful, and full of soul. The audience begins standing before he even hits the final sustained note. People cheer louder with every second he holds it. Judges exchange looks, surprised, emotional, impressed. When the last note fades, the theater erupts into a massive standing ovation. The applause is deafening, echoing off the rafters. Ryan stands frozen, tears forming in his eyes, overwhelmed by the sound of thousands of strangers cheering for him. Simon leans into the microphone and says, "Ryan, you have no idea how special you are." The audience cheers again. Heidi says he sings like someone twice his age. Sophia tells him he has magic in his voice. But Simon isn't done. He sits back, folds his arms, and looks at the boy with an expression that Ryan cannot read: serious, thoughtful, almost emotional. Then, without warning, Simon stands up. He reaches his hand toward the big golden button in front of him. The crowd gasps. Ryan's mother screams. The judges smile knowingly. And then Simon slams his hand down on the golden buzzer. Instantly, the theater explodes in a shimmering storm of gold confetti blasting from the ceiling. The music shifts to AGT's famous golden buzzer anthem. The audience roars so loudly that Ryan can barely hear himself crying. His mother runs from backstage and meets him in the middle of the stage, wrapping her arms around him. They cry together as gold rains down, covering them from head to toe. Simon walks up to them, smiling warmly, telling Ryan that this is only the beginning. Cameramen rush forward, emotions fill every corner, and somewhere in the back, producers whisper, "This kid is going viral all over again." Ryan looks around the massive arena through his tears, realizing his whole life has changed in a single moment. The night of Ryan's audition airs on television, social media goes wild. Within minutes, his golden buzzer performance becomes the #1 trending video in the United States. Comments flood in from all over the world, millions of people praising his voice, his humility, his story. Reaction channels post videos within hours, influencers share clips on their Instagram stories, and celebrities tweet about the Filipino street kid who sang his heart out. His follower count skyrockets into the hundreds of thousands overnight. Ryan wakes up the next morning in their small hotel room to find his phone exploding with notifications. Every time he refreshes, tens of thousands more likes appear. He sits on the edge of the bed staring at the screen, unable to believe the numbers. His mother stands behind him with tears in her eyes, not from sadness but from awe. For years she worried about how to give him a future. Now the world seems to be handing one to him. News outlets from the Philippines, the US, and Europe request interviews. A famous vocal coach comments that he wants to train him. A record label emails asking for a meeting. Ryan feels overwhelmed by all the attention. He never asked for fame, he only asked for a chance. But with the attention comes pressure. The world is now expecting something even bigger from him in the semifinals. Every blog post, every reaction video, every tweet says the same thing: this boy must win. Ryan watches these comments and feels something tightening in his chest. What if he disappoints them? What if he isn't good enough to live up to the hype? His mother notices the worry in his eyes and reminds him, "You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be you." Her words help, but the pressure remains. Back in Los Angeles, AGT producers arrange vocal sessions, rehearsals, and media responsibilities. Ryan practices every day in a studio with a piano. He works on breathing, control, and emotional delivery. But his greatest challenge is not hitting high notes, it's managing fear. During rehearsals, his voice sometimes shakes. He sometimes forgets lines. The producers encourage him gently, reminding him he earned the golden buzzer for a reason. Every night, he calls home to talk to his neighbors in Manila. Vendors,